hold up. Stop the vlog, okay? It's 9:09 at night, October the 7th, and we're just gonna pause for a minute on all this nonsense, and we're gonna discuss the different forms of comedy, okay? Now, my whole life I wanted to be a stand-up comedian, a little bit, a lot, I mean, whatever. But honestly, stand-up comedy, like, man, I ain't gonna make no money. You know what I'm saying? My heart's in it, I love it, but shit, man, unless I'm number one, top dog, I mean, or number 5 or number 10 in the world, I'm not gonna get paid. And I gotta pay the bills. I'm a man, right? So, but I will say this, I've always been extremely good at comedy, and it's just part of what I do. So, comics will argue that there are, professionals, will argue that there are 13 or so forms of comedy. Personally, I'm part of the group of comics that think there's a lot more, because it's a very creative, flow-based, energy-based thing. You got to feel the audience, you got to feel yourself, you got to feel people around you, and groove with the vibe on the fly, especially if you're doing stand-up comedy stuff in public. Like, this shit is not easy, man. You don't have a routine. You don't have any kind of script to go off of like a professional comic does on stage, right? Like, you're just doing it on the fly in the real world. You got to make people laugh and make people have fun. That's part of being a comic. You love seeing people have fun. So I'm by no means a comic. However, I have been told by many people, thousands of people throughout my travels, that I'm one of the funniest people they've ever met in their life. So let's get into it. So you can Google search it on your own, okay? The different forms of comedy, okay? But most Google sites say there's 13. I think there's a lot more. The forms of comedy that I specialize in are going to be, number one, definitely sarcasm. If you don't know what sarcasm is, Google search that too. If you don't know how to get down with sarcastic jokes, I don't know what to tell you. That is one of the best forms of comedy, in my opinion. Number two, I really like dark humor a lot. Dark humor is really just taken too seriously these days by the public. And when you get the right vibe with the right people, man, dark humor can really go a long way. Even with strangers, if you're with a group of your friends and you crack a dark humor joke, for example, I'd like to kill that guy. You know what I mean? Like, just something funny off the cuff. Public person might take it way too serious, but all your friends are behind you laughing. Another one is slapstick. I don't do a lot of slapstick injury-based comedy, but I do a lot of facial expressions in my comedy, which is technically considered slapstick. Give me a second while I review my notes. Self-depreciating, I mean, I don't really do that much because I don't want to talk bad about myself. That's extremely bad psychologically. However, characters that I have created in my routines, such as Gay Trainer the Timmy, y'all met that bastard, you know what I'm saying? Six Pack Steve, y'all met him. You guys haven't met Jimmy yet. Matter of fact, you'll never meet Jimmy because that guy just messes up so much. But these characters, I love to self-depreciate the character because that is part of the character, okay? The character brings out the normal flaws of everyday people. So I don't have to identify flaws in myself and put down myself, which is very psychologically bad. I don't have to identify flaws in others and put down others unless it's a comedic thing every now and then. We have the characters to fall back on that are completely imaginary, completely made up. Everything about them is in-depth, well thought out, and this stuff is comic gold. Okay, which there's a reason I was voted number one in my drama class, along with my best friend at the time, Patrick Fisher, okay, because we do this. High comedy, I don't really get into that. It's just a little out of my league for most situations, but I will get into some high comedy, like when I'm out in public and I see like a snob or something, I'll get into a little bit of high comedy. Situational comedy, that is definitely one of my specialties. Because every situation I'm in, I'm doing stuff on the fly. None of this is scripted. Y'all see me in real life every day on the vlog. And it is what it is, man. You guys can laugh, you guys can hate, do whatever you do. But at the end of the day, this shit is funny, man. Parody, shoot, I did parody in yesterday's video with the Gilligan Island thing. Nobody knows that, none of us Americans know how to pronounce this island. We keep forgetting the name, so we just call it Gilligan's Island. That's a parody right there for y'all that don't know anything about comedy, okay, and how to be funny. Now, this is a God-given gift. It's impossible to teach comedy to everyday person and have them be a comic or have them be funny. Some people can be funny, yeah. Some people cannot be funny. Yeah, but to really get down with the comic vibe, it is a God-given artistic form, okay? Tragic comedy, I mean, I don't really get into that too much. You know, I don't like tragedy. So, hey, there you go. And we don't want to get gay trainer Timmy here either, so I better dial it back a little because I'm getting a little excited. Wordplay, I mean, I do a little bit of wordplay comedy. You hear me do some rhymes and spit some stuff off the cuff, joking around like six-pack jack, back like cook crack, ladies call it fly mac, you know, stuff like that. I'll get you a little bit with the wordplay, AA all day, baby, you know, whatever. But some of my wordplay isn't too funny, but some of it is, if you know I'm just playing around. Obviously, I'm not a freestyle rapper. Obviously, I don't rhyme like all day, baby, AA, but I can do it, and it's fun to do, okay? Deadpan comedy. Dry comedy, I mean, dry comedy is extremely funny. Like, saying stuff with a lack of emotion, like, are you serious? You know, stuff like that. Dry comedy can be very, very, very funny. You will see all these forms of comedy if you go back and watch my videos. You will see all these forms of comedy in my upcoming videos because, like I say, it's a God-given gift, okay? You can't teach it. You can't be funny like me or the next comedian. You gotta have the blessing from God, okay? Observational comedy, I mean, some of this stuff is argumentative. I'm looking at some of these sites right now. Observational comedy, I mean, yeah, observational comedy gonna kind of be like, did you get that joke that I cracked? Like, da-da-da-da-da, and this is what it meant, and this is what I meant, for the people that it sailed right over their head like a dog, okay? I think I touched base already on sarcasm. That wasn't on that list, but that is definitely the biggest one. In the meantime, I'm just pulling up a little list. There's aggressive humor too. I mean, you can really just lay into people and roast them, you know? These roast shows have taken it too far, in my opinion. Are not that funny. They do give me a couple laughs, but I don't know. You got to know when to be aggressive and when not to be aggressive. You got punchline comedy. I don't really deal with punchlines or one-liners. That shit is lame to me. That's just a lame form of comedy. Like, I mean, honestly though, I do have a little respect for it. There was an old comic, Rodney Dangerfield, that's passed away. Some of y'all might know him. Rodney Dangerfield was the man when it came to one-liners. I mean, this guy could spit one-liners all day and have the audience just dying laughing just off one line. Dude, respect Rodney Dangerfield. Rest in peace, man. What else we got here? I gotta look at the notes. Anecdotal, I mean, I do a little bit of that. It's not too hard, you know. I'll say less on that. Yeah, I mean, this list, you know, character comedy, that, you know, that's what I do with the Six-Pack Jack and Timmy and Stuttering Steve and Six-Pack Steve, Stuttering Sean, excuse me. We got Jimmy and a few other characters like Mark Zuckerberg Sr. We got Big John Pena. And this is just derived from persona that's completely invented by the performer, which is me, baby. Okay? So, y'all out there, y'all haters, don't be going thinking I have mental health disorders and all this other bullshit watching these videos, because this is a true form of comedy. No, this character comedy, okay? You're inventing personas to reenact on camera. Get with the program, get educated, holler at your boy. We have cringe comedy. I don't really get into that at all. Actually, I do. Actually, let me correct myself. I do, because cringe comedy is going to include like inappropriate remarks or gestures. You know what I'm saying? You might see me pull my pants down in public or just say something absolutely inappropriate and crazy for the conversation or situation at hand, just to get a really, really, really solid laugh out of everybody and get everybody to loosen up a little bit. I do all this. By the way, I do all this 100% sober. I don't have a sip of alcohol. I don't have a hit of weed. I ain't got nothing on me. All I got is some vape. You know what I'm saying? I'm 100% sober, and I do this all day, every day. Get on it. What else we got here? Deadpan comedy. That's also like extreme changes in facial expression. For all you haters out there that want to comment and say I got some of this wrong, fuck you. Make your own shit and don't mind me. Heritage comedy, I mean, I do some heritage comedy in private, you know what I'm saying, stereotyping, just, you know, oh, a stereotype, oh, whatever, you know, whatever, man, it's comic routine, man, get with it, you know what I'm saying, loosen up a little, stop being so serious all day. Improv, this is basically my whole day, okay, this is definitely close to number one on my list. Straight improv all day, okay, yes, we have a plan, yes, we have a schedule, yes, we have an itinerary, but the day, the flow, the comic routine, straight improv. I don't script, none of it. And the most well-respected comics by other high-level comics are if you can do improv, because if you can't do improv, how are you ever going to entertain an audience that blows with the wind? You might have to change up your whole routine on the fly and go with no routine and run completely off script. That's why improv is the most respected form of comedy. And somehow I specialize in improv. I don't know. Who knows? Ask God himself. Side humor. I mean, side humor is interesting. You know, cracking side jokes while you got a main joke rolling. I do a little bit of that too. Insult comedy, we kind of talked about that earlier. Mockumentary, yeah. You know, so like I say, there's more than 3 forms of comedy. And honestly, it's an art form. It's like saying there's 13 styles of paintings. That wouldn't be true. So it's the same thing with comedy. There's way more than 13 styles of comedy. Anyway, pieces, y'all. Deuces, whatever. Respect, Carroll County, Maryland. Philippines, right? USA. Shout out to Canada. Shout out to Canada, by the way, and North America. Let's go. That's all for tonight, man. I'm done, man. I'm done. Me and Madame gonna go lay down. I'm gonna go rinse off, wake up tomorrow. We got a long ride back to Cebu City. We were gonna go up the West Coast, but fuck that. We're gonna go up the East Coast because I can't be driving that motorbike for no 8 hours going up the West Coast. I need a big bike for that. Probably in a couple weeks. Actually, we're gonna be in IT Park till the 11th. So if you're in IT Park, I'll see y'all there. Shout out to Frankie. Shout out to Ken. Shout out to John. I'll see y'all there. Different John, not Big John Pena. I'll see y'all there when we sit down. Yeah, on the 11th, I got a surprise for me and Madame. She thinks we're going one place, but maybe we're not going to that place. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a whole itinerary planned out. We're going to see the whole Philippines. We're going to rock all night and all day, baby. We're going to have a lot of fun.